objectified to you. It's not part of you, it's separate, something separate to you. But the psychologist like Jung pointed out that so does the ego perceive aspects of the unconscious, specifically the archetypes and other content of the unconscious, is considered external to the ego. And this means, of course, that then the ego is threatened by its own aspects of the self. And because it is threatened on two sides, it's like Samson between two pillars. You have the phenomena of the world threatening you to destabilize and create trauma, and you have the content of your own unconscious impinging upon the walls, the battlements of the ego. So the ego has been always described as a mass of defenses, as something that is waging a war both externally and internally. And so no understanding of the world at all. This, by the way, helps to explain the Mysterium and why the ego might have fallen under the power of the Mysterium. It has to do partly with this conflict that the ego feels between contents of even its own self, or larger self, and the content of the world. Because remember, the content of the unconscious is itself created two ways. One is the Freudian way, in which things you don't like about yourself get repressed into what he referred to as the unconscious, right? So the unconscious to Freud was a dumping ground of this particular life, where things that don't conform and cause you pain, you repress. And the unconscious is also made up of the content of, in the Jungian way, of all mankind. Everyone who's ever lived, repressing. And then genetically, over time, the unconscious, which he referred to as the collective unconscious, is the dumping ground of all mankind's repressions. And then this unconscious content starts working on the ego. It tries to get in, and it influences the material world. Because as we said, mind affects world, world affects mind, and so on. And so this content of the unconscious then is seen as external to the ego, as the external world also is seen. And this is why the ego has been described as a mass of defenses. And that's why then you can understand that the ego is what it is: hierarchical, organized, orderly, conservative, and so on. It has to be. In many ways, it has to be. You have to understand the nature of why the ego is the way it is. It's because as far as it's concerned, it is surrounded by an ocean of frightening, troublesome data and phenomena that it has to protect